So we're here. We're starting. We are here with David Suggs. This is like crazy because like we've talked on Instagram and like partied or whatever, but like we low-key haven't spoken in like since high school.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You know, it be, bro. You know, slide still gang.
When you're both evolving so much, it's hard to catch up sometimes.
Yeah, I spend my waste time, like my free time, just evolving.
Exactly, like that's how it works. No, but low-key you have, because I know you write for like a paper now.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You know the vibes.
So that's pretty exciting. And also,
I know you have a podcast.
Yeah.
That's
I have a
exciting.
podcast too, so it works out. But you're pretty cultured. You write for a paper at your school. It's sports, right?
Unfortunately.
No, but that's still like really cool. Like honestly, I was like, I did my research. I was like, okay, David, go off a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. You know,
Yeah. And then you are just cultured at birth because your mom's a whole art teacher. Like I feel like that puts you on a whole nother level, honestly.
Yeah, she's trying to start collabing with stuff because I'll write stuff like I'm taking like creative writing classes, and she's like, "Yo, let's collab for this little art project."
Yo, I love that. Yo, hold on, because why are y'all about to be on the map? Wait.
Bro, keep on the DL though. Keep on the DL.
I know.
We still waiting. We waiting, bro.
You're right. That's coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, but today we're here to talk about the one, the only Uncut Gems film featuring the Big Sandman. That's just...
Let's go!
Like, we about to go off. Okay, I feel like first we should just kind of summarize the movie. If you haven't seen it, you're late, but we'll summarize it for you. I'll do just a quick summary. Basically, Adam Sandler plays a jeweler, and, you know, it goes downhill from there, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, he's gambling money. He's working with just about everyone. But he's honestly just trying to get by. He's trying to be a good person. So it's like a coming of age, if you will. Just, you know, with a little bit of everything else. I don't want to spoil it, so that's going to be my summary.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So now we're going to put the plot in 10 words. I want you to go first because I really want to hear what you got to say about this.
So after much deliberation, I decided crazy gambling addict gets into bundles of trouble with ops.
Yeah.
Yes.
With ops. I love it.
Yeah. Have to like kind of, you know, a little bit of variety.
Right. It's crazy because, like, I read that this screenplay or, like, the plot or the entire script took literally 10 years to write. And we're just, like, summarizing it in 10 words. So that's pretty
I mean, yeah, that's what it is, you know.
Mine is Jewish man addicted to rocks, hates the weekend but loves basketball. So.
Wow.
I mean, we tried. We tried our best.
That was all over the place. Wow.
We tried it because he really does hate the weekend in this movie. It's honestly...
That is very true. Yeah, it's kind of, that is a very interesting dynamic.
I know, it's odd. Okay, like tell me what you felt like. Like obviously when the trailer came out, I was freaking out, posting it everywhere. We were kind of bonding over that. Like, what did you feel when you saw the trailer before you even got to watch the movie? Like, what was going through your head?
Man, I mean, like, there was like two reactions. So first time I saw it was with my dad, I think.
Yes.
And my dad, like, he has engaged in a little bit of the activity at times, you know.
Love it.
But the thing is, like, a lot of times we just will talk about, like, gambling and stuff, and the way the movie portrayed it was so, like, it was just, the trailer was so, like, energetic, and it was just crazy. You knew from the get-go, like, this is about to be a different type of movie. And then, so we were just bonding over that, where we just going crazy talking about how it looks insane. We're going to see it in theaters, which we didn't, but cool. I saw it with my man's Hunter. We were watching it. It was me and our friend Hunter and Kurt, and we're watching the trailer again, kind of right before we watched the movie. And it's just like, we literally were like, yo, this is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Because it's just, you actually don't know what is going to happen.
That's what got me.
It's drama, bro. It's just straight drama. It's amazing.
No, really, because when I watched it, obviously, I was excited more from just an Adam Sandler fan point of view, because it's nothing like he's ever done before. And on top of that, because, you know, you can be like, oh my God, it's nothing like he's ever done before. But the movie comes out garbage and you're like, well, this is why he doesn't do that, you know? But the trailer, it felt like I was literally, like you said, I just felt like it was going to be drama full. I'm like, this is going to be great. I already know. Something about that music, too, in the back of the trailer. I was what is going on?
Yeah, you're right.
But it doesn't tell you anything about the plot. So you're like, what? I literally didn't know what to expect coming into the theater. I was just like there to ready to support. But I was like, oh my God. And then when the movie goes in, now you're just like, I don't know about you, but I was literally like, I don't usually watch like, what is that type of movie? Suspense movies.
Yeah.
Because I get frustrated. But like, I was watching this and I was literally like holding my chair like, oh my God, if he goes to jail or something, I'm going to kill myself. And, you know, it didn't really work out, but it's fine. Yeah. There was no cops though. It wasn't like a man versus police. It was more like man versus himself, I guess. It was but it was deep. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead. We're gonna rate the characters from least chaotic to most chaotic. Now, yeah, let's kind of preface this. This movie is very chaotic, if you couldn't tell.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Freaking it's all over the place.
Gives you a migraine like the first 10 minutes.
No, because why was that like I went back and read some reviews, and I was like looking at a lot of people were complaining because they were saying that the movie was so loud. Like,
yeah, it was loud as hell, bro. So loud. Oh my God.
It was really loud. They were like, yo, everyone's talking at once. So we're going to attempt to kind of move around, see who's most chaotic, who's a little more peaceful. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go from like least relevant to most relevant. So I'm just going to go ahead and put The Weeknd at least relevant.
Yeah.
Where would we put him in terms of chaotic?
Man, that man I think he was like middle tier. Like, I don't know. Because the thing is, like, he was drilling the whole, trying to, like.
Right.
I mean, if you go for the Sandman's girl, you got to come correct, you know? Like, so he was trying to sneak in there. It's like, nah, bro.
Right.
And then he was wilding a little bit. But he was in the movie for so little that I feel like he can't be seen as, like, one of the more chaotic characters, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I agree with that, because he had like one or two scenes which were kind of like important, but not enough to make him like a real chaotic figure. Yeah. But just like to kind of explain, dude tries to go for Adam Sandler's girl while Adam Sandler's in the room, so it's like a little awkward. Just that, putting him like middle tier, maybe even bottom tier, like that just shows you how more chaotic the rest of the characters are.
Yeah, I mean, like, man was trying to snort some cocaine off of the girl, and it's like, what? Like, that's your first introduction to The Weeknd? Like, Abel?
Right.
Like, really? Dang, alright.
We knew, it's very on brand for him, though, because we knew, even in 2012, we were like 13, we knew, man.
Yeah, we knew what Mans was on top to, bro.
But yeah, that's where we're putting him, so next, let's go with the wife, his actual wife.
Okay. I thought that she was like on kind of the lower tier, because I was just like, even when she knew Adam Sandler was doing some messed up, you know, going all over the place, hooking up with whoever, had the secret apartment and stuff, but she was still kind of chilling and like keeping it together. Right. And I kind of like, I thought that was like very calm of her. It was very like not chaotic of her, if you will. Yeah.
Right. I also think that she was kind of bottom tier, but it's also kind of a power move to just be like, I don't even care what he's doing. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Oh man!
But I could tell Shadi wanted a divorce from the first.
Oh my gosh! Of course, on sight. I mean, like, you saw the way that she looked at him when she found him naked in the trunk. It was like, I ain't gonna say anything, but like, this is an issue that you have to. I don't want to be here anymore.
Right. She was giving you emotion. The thing is, like, I'm pretty sure the actress was in Frozen or something.
Yeah. It's like this career progression is just
it's
magnificent.
Like, the range. Like, I'm like, wait, Miss Frozen kind of serving me anger here.
She kind of slaps.
Right.
I mean, she didn't even get to start singing yet. Like,
right.
who would have? Imagine if it was a musical. It would have been GG, bro. Game over.
Yo, for real. So, but yeah, I would put her bottom tier. Maybe she's like a muted chaotic, where it's like her life is chaotic, but she's put together. So
yeah, that's her.
It works. Okay, next we're gonna go. Let's go his girlfriend. I think her name was Julie.
All right, yeah. So, man, Julie was, in my opinion, she was real chaotic. Like, like. She was the second most chaotic character in my estimation, bro.
Yeah, I love
that. She was just wild, and the thing about, like, without getting too far ahead, the thing about, like, certain decisions that, like, Howie made, there was a method to the madness because you could see it kind of forming in his mind. You knew who he was. But, like, Julia was just young. She loved Howie.
Right.
And it, like, pushed her to do things that were risky as anything can be, like, just to show her love for Howie. It's like, God, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I also feel like she was kind of random because at first, like, the first introduction to her is, like, her in his apartment, like, his separate apartment from his family. And you're like, oh, okay, she's just like a random girl that's, you know, that he's, like, messing with. But then you see her in the jewelry shop and you're like, wait, you work with this man?
Yep.
So you're like, okay. And then, like, as the movie goes on, she just gets more and more crazy, and you're like, dang, she must really like this man. And, like, I feel like we should preface or just say, like, she's definitely way more attractive than Adam Sandler.
Don't even, without a shadow of a doubt.
Literally.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Like, Adam Sandler's probably, like, I mean, he's a dad, like, he's literally the epitome of a father, and then she's, like, she bad. And she's, like, going off and doing all this crazy stuff. So, honestly, I mean, at first, before you mentioned it, I wouldn't have really put her that crazy. But now, I might put her up there because she is kind of going off.
I think that part that you make about, she was so attractive, but yet she was so, like, into Adam Sandler that she was willing to, like, wild out for him, you know? And, like, the Weeknd, like, all right, Weeknd was tripping. But at the same time, like, she had every opportunity, if she wanted to get with the Weeknd.
Right.
But she was so into Adam Sandler's character that she's like, yeah, I'm with Howie. And, like, that actually made her upset that the Weeknd would even try something like that.
Right.
You know, which I think that's, like, if she was, you know, she was so into him that she literally rebuffed the Weeknd's, like, advances, bro. That's a different breed.
Right. She loyal, for real.
I mean, I don't even know if I could do that.
Right.
It's the Weeknd we're talking about.
No, and the movie's set in 2010, which is, like, if you were cool, like, the Weeknd was bubbling, like, that's a big name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it also, she was around a lot of cooler people because she did a lot of club promoting. And throughout that time, she still stayed loyal. So, like, the Weeknd wasn't even the first big name around her. And she was still trying to be like, nah, I'm with Howie. I'm like, oh, okay, girl, go off.
Mm-hmm.
And she even came back to him after he threw that smoothie in her face.
Yep. Oh, man. I forgot about that. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Like, she was, like, like, the end of that zone was very abusive.
Right.
And yet, she was still, like, she still was coming back to work every day.
Right.
Trying to convince him, like, whoa, what? Like, he kicked her out of his apartment.
Right. And she was still like, nah, but hold on, because it's my pan. I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah, I mean, all right, do what you gotta do.
I know. And also, when he was making sales with Kevin Garnett's character or whatever, like, his crew would, like, look at her to be like, is this man crazy? And she'd be like, nah, like, this is a real deal. Like, she would help him with sales and stuff, too. I'm like, dang. It really, honestly, her character made no sense, but I also think that the fact that it made no sense was, like, endearing in a way.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. It was nice to see, like, obviously his marriage is crumbling. A lot of that is his fault, but to see, and, like, obviously, like, also, like, his relationship with his kids is crumbling, and, like, but at the same time,
he's honestly, that's the thing, though. We're gonna get to Howie because he's obviously the most complex character. But I think that, like, him being unlikable, like, honestly, he's very, very unlikable. But also, like, I was rooting for him the whole time. So I think her character kind of makes the audience feel like, okay, I'm not crazy for rooting for him, right? Because somebody's rooting for him, you know? So, I think she does really good at that. And also, I was reading on this actress. It's like her second movie ever. I'm like, why she snap?
No, I heard the same thing as we were watching it. Like, Hunter kept on telling me about how this was like one of her first roles or something. I'm like, geez, she's like good.
Right, she was eating it up. I was like, okay.
Yeah, did her thing.
Okay, next let's go Lakeith's character. I forgot his name, but his character.
Alright, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Alright, so my man's, he was kind of, so Lakeith, I always feel like Lakeith, whenever he plays a character, it always seems to be cool, but like with a little bit more to him,
right.
You know, like, but this man, he was just weird, like, I don't, like, because he still had that same level of, like, Lakeith Stanfield cool that you always associate with, you know, all of his roles and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But, like, he would just move differently to how Adam Sandler was. And, like, that was a very funny dynamic, just having, like, Adam Sandler have to chase after him.
Right.
For large portions of the movie. And then, you know, because, I mean, he was his in. Like, Lakeith was his in to get into the athletes, get into the rappers and stuff, you know? And I feel like Adam Sandler wasn't really appreciative of that. So Lakeith just was moving different. But I don't know, like, Lakeith has some chaotic moments, but I still think he's just Lakeith. He's chill. At the end of the day, he's always going to be chill. He's always going to be Lakeith. So.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like they were supposed to be, like, kind of co-workers in a sense. Like, they were supposed to be buddy-buddy, but, like, something about Lakeith's character from the beginning, I was like, something is sus here. But you don't get, like, enough into their background, just, like, little snippets where it's like, oh, Adam sold his watches without telling him, da-da-da-da. Adam did this, Adam did that. So then when you start hearing that, you're like, oh, that's why Lakeith is so sus with him. Yeah. That's why Lakeith doesn't care. Like,
no, that's a really good point.
You know?
I wasn't even thinking about that. I forgot about the whole watches thing, yeah.
I watched the movie twice, so I definitely...
Yeah, okay. All right, fair
I was picking up. You know, the first time you watch and the second time I was like, let me... You know, break this down for a second.
Yeah, just straight. The first time I watched was just straight. Wow, Adam Sandler wearing that?
Right.
Not oversized clothing. He doesn't look like Billie Eilish. Wow, awesome.
You start to actually realize, like, dang, this man is rich. Huh.
Yeah. Like, wow. Oh, I didn't know he's wearing rings.
Right.
Okay.
No, but yeah, I think their dynamic was weird. But I was definitely like. Obviously, I love Lakeith, but, like, the whole time, I was like, yo, give him his rock back. Like, I was about to hit Lakeith a couple times. But then I was like,
my God.
Nah, I get it. Like, I got him at the end. I was like, okay, I understand why you were acting like this. So, I don't know. I wouldn't put him that chaotic, though. I think he's just grinding, and, like, that's just how he has to act, you know?
He's real, bro. He's just he was I feel like he was one of the most, like, realistic characters in the movie, because I'm just sure that all those hoopers, all those, like, you know, rappers and stuff, they all got that dude in their entourage who is, like, not really their dude, but he's, like, low-key their dude. And, like, as a result, he has to move a certain way to, like, interconnect with, like, these, you know, the Adam Sandlers of the world.
Right. I definitely think that, too. Like, he's just moving. Like, I know that character was real. Like, there's somebody still in New York that's still doing that, still has to, you know, getting people to Julius and stuff. So, I think I'd put him at the same level maybe as his wife. Like, chaotic life, but they're dealing with it. All right, next, let's go Kevin Garnett. The man.
Man, KG. What a performance, bro. He was amazing. Like,
dude,
I was stunned how good he was.
Literally amazing. I'm like, what the heck?
First, just the whole, like, this man's, like, old, and, like, he was looking young, and, like, I think, like, I've heard little stories about how they wanted, I think it was Kobe first, and then Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, for real?
And, like,
I didn't even know that.
Apparently they had this whole plan where they wanted, either it was Stoudemire first, because they're Knicks fans, and then Kobe and then Stoudemire, whatever.
Right.
But they came up on KG, and, like, Mans is, like, he was just chilling. He was just chilling. Like, he just wanted that stone. And the thing is, like, you talk about Lakeith's character, and Lakeith felt like the guy that was kind of, like, messing stuff up with the stone. Like, he was just, like, kind of all over the place in terms of just, like, oh, time to return it. Well, not time to return it, all this other stuff. KG was just chilling. He was chilling. Bro, I really, like, I thought he was exceptional in it. So I didn't think he was chaotic at all. I thought he was just, like, he's a hooper. He had his little superstitions or whatever. But when he just wanted to do right by people.
Right.
He was because you know how he felt when Howie was like trying to drill stuff with the whole like just. I have the stone, and you can't have the stone. You can't have the stone. You can't.
Right.
You know, he was like, it's about the principles, and I'm like, man, KG, man,
I respect that.
Like,
nah, for real. He was obviously he didn't have any ill intention. Like he was like, I'll literally pay you. Like, give me this rock. You know? He wasn't on the same wave like Keith was on for sure. Okay, this is embarrassing. Like y'all gonna roast me, I know, but this is a compliment on God. I did not know who Kevin Garnett was.
Oh, God. What?
I thought this man was an actor, like, Oscar nominated. Because the performance he's putting on, though.
Oh, my God.
No, hey, no.
Mom, it might be time to hang up now, bro.
No, I'm serious. Okay, because, like, you know when you watch movies sometimes, like, sometimes they'll have real basketball players, and sometimes they'll have actors, obviously. So I didn't recognize him off the jump. And then when I went back and I looked, it's because he's retired now. You know, I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't have known because I'm not like a sports person, you know. But I'm like, listen. I'm like, I turned to my friend who also didn't know who Kevin Garnett was, and I'm like,
jeez,
we're a mess. We're a mess.
Oh goodness me,
we're a mess. But I'm like, who is this? I'm like, who is this? She's like, I don't know, but he is putting on a show. Like the emotion, the passion. Like you would have thought Kevin Garnett collected stones for years. Like he's out here, like you know. And obviously the superstition part, but I did read that like the actual black opal, whatever they were alluding to, is actually like lucky and like people actually do like have jewelry with that if they're in sports or whatever superstition. So I'm like, that's very what is it? Academically correct or whatever. But I'm like,
okay. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I'm like, they convinced me either way. Like you could have told me that was a piece of styrofoam, but I was like, Kevin needs that styrofoam, like, to win, like, you know?
Yeah.
So he was putting on his show.
That John was, like, because it was weird, because, like, we were watching it, and obviously, like, I remember KG, like, watching him growing up, along, you know, with the Celtics especially. Right. And, like, I was as I was watching it with my friends, like, I was kind of thinking back to that, not to necessarily that series, but just that playoffs, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Boston won. Like, that game and won that series, because I'm pretty sure they played against LeBron, like, the next round, or they lost to LeBron eventually. So I was like, and I was interested to see how they would play on that. Especially you get towards the end of the movie, and you know that it's, like, down to that last game. And I was like, so how are they going to make this work? Like, it's not like he lost, but at the same time, like, the drama was so much, it was, like, so tangible, and, like, the way that KG was acting, it was, like, I need, as you said, like, I need that opal. I need it, bro. Like, or we're not going to win. It was like, wow. It made me think, like, maybe this did happen to him. Like, maybe this is how he was feeling, actually, during.
Right. Because it was a finals game, right?
It was like I think it was like either maybe Eastern Conference, like, semifinals or something. It was like a couple rounds before the finals. I think they played against LeBron the next round, I think.
Yo, so you already knew they were gonna win, and you were still like, "Wait,
I was like, win? What is gonna happen? What is happening?" Yeah, no, exactly that. Because you're like, I mean, I'm sure, and we'll get to him eventually, but like, man, I'm sure that you were like stressing out towards the end, and I felt the same way. And I'm like, didn't they win this game?
You were like, wait, why am I freaking out? I'm pretty sure they won.
Why am I? That should be good, right?
No, for real, because I didn't know, so I was like, whoa. But like, obviously, watching him. And then I started to like kind of guess at the end that he was a real basketball player because I'm like, yo, he's too tall, and like watching the little like the clips of him playing, I'm like, nah, he's not that good unless he's like an actual player. So I was like thinking, dang, they got a real player. And then when I went and looked him up, he's like critically known and like
so I'm like a Hall of Famer and stuff. Just like it's one of the best every year.
Right, I'm like, oh, okay. No, but I also think that's cool that the directors got like a not only an actual player, but a famous player, and like you said, it went along with a timeline and a story that was realistic. Yeah. So that the way they timed all that is really like cool.
Oh, it's tremendous! Like I think that the for me was the age because. Yes. You know, that was what, 8 years ago? Yes. You know, 8 years ago that he was playing, and like for him to, and he looks the same, but I feel like as a director, it's hard to even like. I guess you see it all the time, but I don't know. Like he's playing his real life self at a certain point in his life, and he still like looks the same mannerisms. So I thought that was like really, really impressive by the directors to just be able to have that foresight to be like, we're going to set this in this time. We're going to get a person that he, after he retired, he didn't just like gain 50 pounds and like stop caring about his body. Yeah, he was like, you know what, I'm still going to stay in shape. I'm still going to kind of look the same. Yeah, and I thought that whole like storyline and his sort of aspect, I thought it was just amazing writing and amazing acting.
Yeah, because also as a director or the people who wrote the script, like you kind of have to write like Kevin Garnett, you have to, kind of almost, yes, they were probably fans, but you have to kind of know how he acted. And then Kevin Garnett has to be like, okay, let me step into how I was 8 years ago. Like that ass. Like.
That's amazing. You are onto something, bro. That's a banger right there. That's a banger right there.
That's a point.
Straight up. That's a point right there.
Yeah, because he got to be like, okay, like you said, he's retired. So imagine him. He hasn't played in years. He's got to be like, let me put myself in the mindset of how I would act like I was playing in that. And like, yes, it's he's playing himself, but like, I wouldn't, honestly, if you told me to play myself 2 years ago, I really wouldn't know how to.
Oh my, no, yeah, it's like, bro, no, because you, like, imagine how much he has to, if you're playing someone else, you just got to look at that other person, look at what they did and stuff, look at their actions, and that's it. But, like, he's got to go get that vulnerability, everything that he was feeling. There were negative thoughts that I'm sure that he had to experience during that when he lost one of those games. And he's like, man, I just lost, and that anger and sadness that comes with it.
And the panic.
Like, playing yourself, I feel like it's like the hardest thing because you're playing it seems like it should be easy. Right. But in reality, like, you got to go and think about all that stuff that affected you all of those years ago. It's like, golly, man. He did this, man.
We're about to give him a supporting actor award right now.
Yeah, I mean, but for real, though. For real, like, I mean...
The way I thought he wasn't even a basketball player. Like, I swear to God, I thought he was like... I was like, who's this breakout, like, stunning...
This 25-year-old superstar.
I'm like, who is this? Why isn't he in every movie? Like, he's sickening.
Dude. I thought I saw him in Moonlight. Wasn't he?
Stop!
Was he in 12 Years a Slave? I swear, like...
Is this Mahershala Ali right now?
Is this one of the 3 black actors that we have, usually?
No, like, that's how, like, delusional I was. But, like, his performance for real sickening. All right, we could go on for hours about Kevin, but, like, honestly, I just loved him. Let's go to... Okay, I don't know his name in the movie, but the guy who, like, he owes money to. The main
Arno.
Guy. What'd he say?
Arno. I think his name is Arno.
Okay, Arno. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. If you watch the movie, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the main guy, basically the main guy he owes, like, hella money to, and is, like, following him the whole movie. What we put him?
Oh my gosh, yo. He was blowing me, bro. He was blowing me. He was going, like, he was a bitch, bro. Like, that's, like, I feel like there's, like, certain there's certain, like, principles, bro. Like, this is family, and you're out here, like, drilling it in the sense of, like, you got every single time that you are in a encounter with this man, there has to be, like, tension. And you know how Sam, he's still Adam's, like, he's still like, hey, I'll get you your money. Like, he's doing that, like, he's trying.
Your Adam Sandler impression is so good.
Yeah, bro. See, that's been curated, but I don't want to do it too much because I lose it at times, bro. Like, the thing about, like, Adam Sandler is, like, even though in the movie, like, there's a lot of tension going on, you don't necessarily think that, like, at least for me, I didn't feel like Adam Sandler was, like, the most sort of intimidating threat. He just, a lot of stuff just happened to him, but he wasn't trying to do stuff to other people.
Right.
Outside of the weekend.
Yeah, but, you making a point there. Wait.
Yeah. Like, so it always felt like Arno, whenever he would come up to him, it would always be about money. I'm just like, I know that, don't get me wrong, Sandler was he was tripping out. He was out of line a lot of times, you know, trying to put money other bets and to other, and like trying to double his money and stuff like that. But at the same time, like everything, Arnold had his henchman running with him who was like tripping all the time.
Right. And
it's like, this is your brother-in-law. Like, y'all are celebrating like Passover and stuff. And
right.
Like, man, what you doing, bro?
In the middle of Passover.
You strip this man naked and then put him in a trunk. And then, like, a couple of days later, it's time to eat, like, potato latkes.
And they're chilling. I can't.
Yeah, and chill. Like, come on, bro. That's messed up.
Nah, yeah. He was pissing me off. Okay, the first time I watched the movie, I was like, yo, who is this man? Like, can you get out the way? But then the second time, I was like, for real. The second time, I was starting to think because, like, the second time I picked up more. Because, okay. To tell the audience, like, when you watch this movie, it is very loud. So you do miss a lot of lines because everybody is actually talking over each other. So the second time I watched, I was more, like, trying to listen to the stuff I missed. And, he did say, like, a lot of times, like, dude, like, I never wanted it to come to this. Like, you asked me to loan you money years ago, and, like, you've literally never given it back. You've done this and this. You're using my money and this and that. And it's, like, at the end of the day, I think he's his brother-in-law. I don't think he's his brother. Yeah, so, like, they're still a family, but it's also, like, yeah, but not really, and you owe me my money. Like,
That is true.
So the second time, I was, like, I kind of empathized with him a little more, but I was still, like, why you got your goons out here? Like, if it's family, why can't you, like, deal with it face to front? But then you start to realize, like, his character is kind of fake. Like, he's actually not really about it, So I was like, So with him,
he was, like, he was weird, bro.
He was weird, right? It was odd. I don't know. I don't know where I would put him. It's like, I think his goons are like the actual villains.
Yeah. He's, you know what? You do make like a really good point about how he did have his moments. I think he had a lot of moments because I think there was, like obviously the end of the movie happens and like it goes down the way that it goes down. But the thing is, like, it's not like there weren't opportunities to do something to him beforehand. Like, he did have enough, like, restraint and, like, some of the time, like, when the bet hits, he's, like, ecstatic. He's like, wow, like, you're right. I'm saying that look like, yo, you crazy, but, like, wow, bro, like, you really did it. And, like, I didn't have to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't have to, like, he was kind of, like, proud. I felt like low-key he was like, proud of him. He was. So, like, on one hand, like, I feel like maybe that's also the situation, just like when you got so much big money in betting and like gambling and all that stuff, like maybe it's just like you got to be a certain type of way even if you got family involved. But like he never really put him in danger, he never like really threatened him with violence like that, and he always wanted him to, I think, pay off, to be successful. He didn't like take pleasure in any of the stuff that was going on, so maybe it was a little bit like, maybe it was a little aggressive with my first stand with him.
Yeah, no. But like he wasn't aggressive towards him because, like you said, he did feel happy when he won the bet, and I think when he placed the rock for auction in that fancy auction thing, he showed up and was like, I'm trying to see like how much money you make.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was trying to be like, I showed up to steal the rock or I showed up to mess up anything. So it was like, yes, he's a good person. Deep down, he just kind of has to do his business. But the way he didn't have control over his goons, that's what gets me. Like, that's where you're chaotic. Because if you want to act and be like, yes, you owe me my money, then you got to go full throttle. You can't, like...
Yeah, you're right.
You can't only be strict with some people. So that's what made me lose respect for him a little bit. But at the beginning, I was kind of empathetic.
That's facts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about his goons now. His goons, complete chaos. Like, that's chaotic.
Ugh. Like, I don't know what man's name was, but whoever, man...
If I see him in the street, for real, it's on.
Yo, man, whatever Taylor Swift said in that song.
Yeah.
That's what we doing. Like, bruh, it's just... What was the reason, bro? Like, nobody cares about you, bro.
Let's just drop the bomb. If you haven't watched the movie, I'm gonna drop the bomb right now. So if you plan on watching it, skip ahead a couple minutes. But the goons end up being so mad at Adam Sandler for no reason. We don't know why. But they end up being so mad at that man that they shoot him, even though he won the bet and even though he had the money. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Man, how are you going to kill someone for securing a bag for you? And then you're going to kill the brother for what? Do you not know how this goes, bro? You won. You got your money, bro. Okay. Why are you so mad? What is wrong with you, bro?
What is wrong with you? Because, okay, even when I watched it the second time, I could not tell you what was wrong with that man. The thing I will tell you is that I found, like, when I watched it the second time, I did see that he was, like, hostile with Howie the whole movie. Like, it wasn't like he was, at the end, just randomly hostile with him. Like, he was progressively more hostile throughout the movie with Howie. Like, he had it out for him. Mm-hmm. Like, even, you remember that scene they were in the car, right, before he puts him in the trunk? And he was like, telling the boss, like, yo, like, he hit me in the nose, like, let's just, like, let's wreck him. And the boss was like, no, not yet. Like, he kind of restraining him a little. So I'm like, this man really had it out from the beginning. Crazy how that works. But you never really get insight as to why. Literally, why do you care that much?
He's just, like, I think that was, oh my, bruh.
Speechless.
I don't think I have ever seen a scene, because I was watching with Hunter, and we literally jumped out of our seats in the living room, because it was like, this doesn't make sense. It didn't compute with, we literally were like, this is one of the most unexpected scenes I've ever, in my entire life, I've ever seen, because I was just like,
me too.
This doesn't really make sense. Like, everybody should be happy. What? What?
Literally.
Like,
in the theater, I literally, like, I was kind of chilling because I was smiling, honestly. Like, I was genuinely happy for this character. Like, I was so into it. I was like, yes, how we got the money. And then out of nowhere, you just hear that gunshot. And I was like, no way. And I was literally in shock. I thought he was going to get up and, like, try to, call 911 or something. I'm sitting there like, there's no way this happened. But at the same time, I'm like, this is real cinema.
Like, oh my God, bro. Like, I was just, because the way that they showed that, like, final sort of encounter, just that whole, like, last game, it was, like, so stressful, but you're also, Howie is so confident, you're like,
you're satisfied.
Yes, you did it. Like, yo, you cuckoo as hell, bro. I don't ever want to see you, but, man, you did what you had to do. And, like, your family's taking care of and stuff, and, like, you're good. And then it's, like, all in one moment, just bang, and then Arno next, bang, and it's like, for what?
It was just evil. It was honestly evil because then also
it was so evil.
So evil. Then he starts to steal the store. Like,
oh my gosh. Like,
I'm like,
overkill.
I know. Now you're doing too much on it. He takes the Furby. I'm like, yeah, you're doing a little too much now. Like, I can't even, like, recognize you as a villain. You know how sometimes villains, you kind of feel like something for them? I wasn't feeling nothing.
Man.
Then he's calling his goons that were following Julie. And he's like, yo, get her. I'm like, nah, you're actually doing
cool it, bro. Like, everybody can chill.
Everybody eats. Can we wait? Like,
Daddy, chill. Like, come on, bro.
Literally, that was me. Because I was just like, it's honestly, if there's a flaw in the movie, which I actually don't think there is, but if there was, it would be like kind of giving his character purpose and being like, literally, why is he like this? Like, what do we don't understand that. But I think that anger kind of makes you as a viewer like have somewhere to put the anger, because all the characters are so complex that you're like, well, I like him but I don't, well, I like him but I don't. But those two people, you can actually be like, no, it's always gonna be we hate you, you know.
No, that's like you just speaking facts today, bro. You just dropping truth seeds, bro. Like, the thing is, like, it's like, because if you left the movie and everything worked out, I feel like you would have felt kind of weird, because like you still would have thought, in reality, Adam Sandler's character made a ton of mistakes, you know, in the movie and like through his life. And I feel like even though a redemption story is always a good thing, you know, it is kind of, it makes you feel something different when it's like you see him and you see everything work out, and then obviously everything sort of at the end it just all falls apart. Even though like he kept it together through a string, and then when he finally got that, it's like sad, but it's also like it's kind of, it makes you feel something like beyond the movie. The movie comes off, but you still feel this sort of like pain. Like, damn, did that really just happen?
Dude, why you ate that? Okay, let's kind of let's kind of flow into Howie now, because I feel like we've been talking about him the whole movie, but honestly, if you break it down, it's like, yes, he literally, the whole movie, mistake, and there wasn't, honestly, like, there was the slightest of an arc, but not really. Like, his character really doesn't change throughout the movie to the point where at the end of the movie, everything kind of works out and he still wants to place a bet, you know what I mean? Like, he's still... So that's when I was like, when he made that last bet, I was like, nah, I'm actually going to have to fight Howie now. Because it's like, you have no regard for your own well-being, you know? Yeah. So I was like, okay. So honestly, I feel like if he didn't get shot at the end of the movie, I wouldn't have enjoyed the movie. Which is kind of dark, but for real.
I think what I'll always remember is just that feeling when he gets shot. Yes. And it's like, that, how I was with, he got shot, and I looked at Hunter, and he looked at me, and we're like, did that really just happen? Did that really just happen? And then the movie's over, you know?
The movie's literally over.
It's just over. Like, it's like, there's no epilogue, there's no time for you to, like, kind of absorb it. It just ends. And
but I love that. I really do love that, because I feel like that's all you really need to know as a viewer. Like, boom, like life comes at you fast. Like,
I mean, it makes sense, because it's not like the dude had such a contentious relationship with his family. You knew that, like, Julia took care of the bet, and she was all situated. Right. But that was it. That was his whole life in that store with them jewels and the gambling and stuff. As soon as it's over, it's over. There's nothing. Nobody else really matters in that situation.
Yo, for real. No, honestly, because if they would have stretched out, it's like, what else are you gonna put in the movie? Nothing. That's it. That's all that it revolved around. Honestly, Howie's one of those characters where, like, obviously I'm grieving once the movie's done, but I'm still thinking about, like, he's literally the worst. So
he's terrible. He's terrible.
I'm gonna have to put him at most chaotic. There really wasn't any competition. But I'm gonna have to put him at most chaotic, because it's like, okay, this is the thing. Like, he was, marriage in shambles, job kind of in shambles, but mostly for his own fault. But he did have things to look forward to. Like, he had the new gem, that if he just would have put that junk in auction, and that would have been it. He has Julia, if he would have just cooled off, not throwing smoothies in people's faces, everything would have gone smooth, And I'm just like, there's just choices that you could have made, Howie. Yeah. To make your life easier. But then, I feel like the choices that he didn't make, like the mistakes he made, also made me kind of feel like this is a deeper character and I actually like this guy. So it's like, I can't hate him, but I hate him,
Yeah, like, I don't know. Have you watched that Netflix show, You?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think people, like, talk about, like, Joe Goldberg and how, like, he's obviously a very bad character, but he's also, like, very, like, complex or whatever. Like, he has, like, good within his bad. Right. And, like, don't get me wrong, when I watch You, like, I'm just like, yeah, this dude's kind of trash, bro. Like, he's just weird. Like, he just moves weird. He makes poor decisions.
Right.
But I can sort of see it with that one. And with this one, I definitely feel that way. Because when he died, the thing about Howie is, even though he made a ton of just terrible decisions that put people at risk, like, the man... he never did anything so egregious that it was, like, going to cost the person his life. And, like, in that sense, even, like, in a weird way, like, that's kind of cool that he just, like, even though he was bad, he had, like, a certain standard.
Yeah,
and he just kind of, like, he just would go up to that standard where you would be like, man, you are a terrible person. But then, like, he might do something a little bit redeeming. Yeah. And it's, like, at the end of the movie, it finally all pays off for him. It's like, all right, bet. Like,
it works, yeah.
Yeah, in this situation, it worked. I had no faith that he was going to improve, like he was ever going to get better. But it's like, all right, you had some good in this moment. Like, you got what you deserved in this moment, this positive thing that you got.
And then that build up, and then just for that to be gone at the end.
Snapping your fingers, bro.
That, like, instant drop is like you said, something I'll never forget, and it just makes me think about his character even more. Like, if you really mess around, you gonna get hit. Like, at the end of the day. So, but yeah, definitely most chaotic,
like,
but also I like
that show is just a snap, bro.
For real. I'm thinking about it still. Like, I have like snap memories of me coming out the theater with my brother, and we're like, Howie's dead, Howie's dead, like, we literally, like, mourning it. But for real, it's honestly a mess. Okay, now let's go on to, I mean, we've basically hit everything. I mean, we can kind of hit the like what we think about the Oscars kind of snubbing. What do we feel about that?
Okay.
You go first.
All right. So for myself, like, I haven't watched a ton of the Oscar sort of nominated movies, but what I would say is, like, Sandler, like, he was tremendous, bro, and it was such a deviation from what he's usually used to, in the sense of, like, you love Adam Sandler, right?
Yes, I love him. Amazing,
bro. I've up to this point, bro. I wouldn't say hate. Go as far as hate.
No, a lot of people hate him. I've
strongly disliked some of his films.
No, I get it. Yeah,
he like, because the thing is, like, I think I've talked to friends about it. The thing is, like, he can make a very entertaining movie that is, like, low key, like, not great, but, like, he's just kind of chill and he makes it work.
Right.
But he also made Jack and Jill, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's like there's got to be, like, some sort of balance there, because Jack and Jill is horrifically bad, and then a lot of his other stuff is like, man, to, like, pretty good, like, to actually good. But how is, I've never seen, like, I can't remember many actors having this sort of, like, he's kind of typecast into this role where he's kind of this goofy dude, and he literally is something that he has never been in this movie, and he stretched himself, and he's probably in his 40s, you know, but yet he was able to kind of show his ability, show that talent off, and it's like, wow, like, you're actually a very talented actor. Like, people don't give him enough props when he can actually kind of do his thing. Right.
The thing is with Adam, like, I'm talking like that's my homie, but he is.
Yeah, that's your boy. Yeah, bro. Y'all go way back.
The thing with my boy Adam is, like, I've always seen him as, like, a smart guy, because his jokes, while they're, like, dumb, they're very smart. Like, he everything he admits is very smart. But at the same time, he's an idiot. Like, he's so dumb. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, the way he's so dumb. So the way he's been able to ride that line of smart, dumb, like, I'm a really smart guy, I know how to act, but I'm going to do these dumb roles because, like, this is kind of like a satire. This is kind of like what works for me. And I've been, like, I watch his movies and, like, some of them are honestly hot garbage. But like you said, some of them are, like, pretty funny. Like, he makes a movie that was, honestly, if you ask me, one of his most famous movies are what? Grown Ups, that entire franchise?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's funny. Like, literally, the plot of that movie's garbage, but something about him and, like, his dynamics with his co-stars make you want to, like, watch it, you know?
Yeah.
But this movie was, like you said, completely out the box. I think everybody kind of knew when they were watching the trailer. They were like, this is out of the box. Like, this alone, just because he was able to turn that actor switch on, should get an award. But the Oscars weren't seeing it. They weren't seeing it.
Yeah, I just think that, like, and usually I don't, like, I'm sure that, I mean, you're into the music stuff as well, so I'm sure you're hip to just, like, award shows seem to be like a sham, bro. Like, they just slanted towards certain artists and, like, certain, like, actors, and ignoring other ones for no real reason. Well, like, there's a reason, but, like, you know, let's not get to that. But that's the tea. But, like, nah. But, you know, like, this, and I feel like this was just another example where it's like people were so. I think that, well, the thing is, like, a lot of sort of more, like, non-traditional award shows and, like, stuff that kind of didn't necessarily have the clout of, like, the Oscars. They were like, this man did his thing.
Right.
You know, they gave him props, and, like, deservedly so. But I feel like, and without knowing, like, too much about the movies that were nominated and stuff, I do think that because it's Adam Sandler and it's the Oscars, like, people were just like, nah, we can't do that. That's just not acceptable.
They weren't ready for that. No, you bring up a good point, because, like, the other smaller award shows, literally, maybe in all of them he was nominated. In a couple of them he won. Like, I'm not telling you got to give him all of his things, but one or two, you know, we just fishing.
Yeah, I mean, just acknowledge that he did well,
right?
Like, in a really good movie.
They weren't, like, really ready for it. They weren't.
He didn't need to win. I think just a nomination, like.
I think a nomination.
I don't know, like, maybe some other things were good, but.
A nomination for the movie as a whole, like, anything. I honestly would have thought of it as a win if, like, costume design would have won. You know, like, I just. They have some sort of prejudice against it. And then, you know, that's when you really start to feel bad. Because you're like, okay, Award shows are racist. That's fine. But this is a white man. Yeah. We're not going to give the white man his things?
That is true. I mean, like, no, that's fact. Like, look, Adam Sandler's definitely done some weird stuff, bro. Like, he definitely has had his weird moments, bro. Like, movies are weird. He had, like, I think he did something with Netflix that was weird. Like, you said it best. The movie isn't just about him, though. Like, it's everybody. It's everybody. You know, the person who was Julia, who's like in one of her first major roles and does bits. You know, it's the person who's from Frozen that you know, was able to take on this persona. Like, that's nothing. You know, it's like Lakeith Stanfield doing what Lakeith Stanfield does. It's KG doing, you know, amazing. Like, there were so many people that did so well, and you know, costume design and the plot and the writing, and even like. Because people talk about how loud it is, but it made you feel something that I don't think a lot of movies can. Like, that chaos is different than I think a lot of other movies. It's a really good movie, so it deserves some sort of props, bro.
The way that they just completely discredited the entire movie just because Adam Sandler's in it, and I'm like, okay. But you know what? The directors who did this movie, the Safdie brothers, they said that they knew they were going to get Adam from when they started writing the movie. So I feel like they kind of were prepared to, like, okay, this movie will have a lot of cultural relevance, but it's not going to get all the awards. Because a lot of the times that they were accepting awards, they always shouted out Adam because they knew, like, nobody else is going to if we don't. Even though he is that popular, like, in the movie scene, if it's like us citizens, regular ass people, if we're like, yeah, Adam's an idiot, imagine in the movie scene, like, they probably think he's an idiot. That is true.
Oh my god, yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. Like, you are so right there.
Yeah.
Just, you have people that are dumber than Adam Sandler thinking that he's dumb.
Right,
and they're not necessarily wrong, but it's just like, like, there's no way that he's getting props from, like, these esteemed, you know, media heads who are pretentious as anything.
I felt it, like, I kind of was prepared for it when he didn't get anything, but it was just really disappointing, because I don't think he's gonna, well, I mean, maybe he could go off and do a whole bunch of great roles, but knowing Adam, my homie,
it's true.
He's not gonna do that. He's gonna do, like, 10 more Netflix movies, and they're gonna be, and I'm gonna watch them. I will.
Yeah, of course. But you gotta give him that, you know?
He's funny, but, like, good for him. I mean, I'm glad he got, like, a couple awards at least from other award shows, which are cool. I think they could have at least invited my man to the show, but we're not gonna do too much, I guess.
You know how it is, bro. They're weird. They move weird, bro.
And you know, another thing, not to get too film head on you, but like the people who produced the movie, A24, they actually had like 2 other movies that were Oscar nominated, and like they've gotten a lot of buzz. Like, they've done Euphoria.
Wait. What?
Deadass. They produced Euphoria.
Oh,
Deadass. And they, I know.
Hey, that's my favorite studio now, bro. Euphoria is like the best show on
so
TV,
good,
bro. Like, and that show, bro. Oh my.
No, for real. And Euphoria got a lot of like critical acclaim too. So I'm like, oh shoot, like this is a like, we got it in the bag. It's A24. They also did I don't know if you heard of Midsommar, that like horror movie.
I heard about it. My friends have said good things about it.
Yeah,
said really good things about it.
Yeah, that one got a lot of Oscar buzz too, and like it got nominated. They did another movie with that comedian Awkwafina. And and that movie, and that's another movie that like is odd because she's like a comedian, but she does so well in that role, and that got a nomination and a lot of buzz. So I'm like, okay, if Awkwafina's out here getting Oscars, my man Adam can get one.
I'm actually messing with, because you know what, this A24 stuff. You look at these movies, and it seems to be a common thread. It's just like they're non-traditional. You know, like Euphoria is, you know, all these like different little aspects. It's really. And then, like, you know what? Now that you talk about, like, you can see sort of these threads between, from what I've seen at least, like, Euphoria is, like, chaotic as anything.
Yes.
The way that they took it, man, A24 on the come up, bro.
No,
that's really tough.
It's really tough. And it's also, like, the main characters, I think they have a thread, like, a similarity where it's, like, the actor is complete opposite of the main character. Like, Zendaya.
Oh man, you're absolutely right. Literally. Oh, you want bang?
Why we just crack the code?
Right, that's like another bullseye right there.
Like, Zendaya's playing a crack addict. What?
Oh my god, bro! Don't you gonna get me? don't get me to start talking about this show because I will not shut up.
No. Hold on. Because then we got Aquafina playing like her movie. She plays like a really like down to earth, centered like Asian actor. Yeah,
it's the most like kind of not like Aquafina just be like she be just doing her thing, but in this movie she's like just the most normal person. Like,
literally completely centered. I'm like, okay, you got Adam playing a like whole jeweler with a gambling addiction. And then they also introduced new actors because the Forefront of Midsommar, it's almost a completely new cast. And a lot of their films and stuff are like different, like new stuff. So it's like, whoa, you know. They did a movie with Robert Pattinson where he's you heard of that, right? I think it's called Lighthouse.
I heard about that. I heard that it was Flames.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I heard it was Flames.
Yeah, he's playing like I didn't watch it, but he's playing like a crazy fisherman, whatever, and it's like, yes, Robert Pattinson has like drawn away from Twilight, but like, who's gonna give him that opportunity? A24, because they're crazy. You know what I mean?
They got they are doing their like. I have to give them credit. It's like you have. I think a lot of movies. A lot of just like media in general and like entertainment and stuff, they're just like everyone wants to do kind of the same thing,
right? Really recycle.
To have people like it's not just the ideas. It's not just like because you have like a ton of actors that seem to want to do like different roles. Adam Sandler, Pattinson, Zendaya, and stuff like Aquafina, like that want to do these different roles. But to have a studio that is so willing to like give these non-traditional storylines and like give these actors and directors and writers and producers these opportunities. That's amazing to see. And like film crew, it's like
giving them the money too, because it's like if you walk up and you're like, yo, I got this fire movie where Zendaya's playing a crack addict or where Adam's doing this, you as a studio have to be like, how much money am I going to give this? You know? Like you kind of have to put your faith into that, and I think they do really good at that, and I honestly appreciate it. I will always be thankful for A24. For real.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out A24.
Shout out A24.
Y'all got this thing on lock. For 2020 is your year.
For real. The last thing I would say maybe about the soundtrack, but you kind of ate it up where you said that the loudness contributes to the story. Also, like one thing if I had to change would be like, you know how like movies like these, and maybe that's to like put the movie in a box and maybe I'm wrong for it, but you know movies like these where they will like have a lot of black people in the movie, or it'll be like kind of an action gamble type movie, the soundtrack usually is flames. Like the soundtrack usually has like freaking Kendrick on it, or you know big names. So when I saw The Weeknd was actually in the movie, I'm thinking, oh, The Weeknd's about to curate this, you know?
10 out of 10,
Yeah, but we didn't get that, and maybe that's the people in charge of the movie telling you, like, but you need to stop paying attention to the soundtrack and just pay attention to, like, the plot. So maybe I'm wrong, but I was expecting, like, something, you know?
I do, like, I watched this at UMD, they have this thing, like, at this place called Hoth Theater, and it's kind of like they'll do free movies you can watch kind of like per week, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So they showed this movie. I don't know if you heard of it. I knew nothing about it before. It's called Waves.
Oh yes. That's A24 too, dude. That's A24.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're well. I had to leave early, right? Mm-hmm. But I got through the first half of it, you know, and. I don't know. Have you seen the movie?
That movie's great. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, so the first half, you know how crazy that first half is,
right?
And like,
the
music
reflects it.
Yeah, the music is so important in it, and like that, I really appreciate like, and it seems like A24 because Euphoria does the same thing.
Yeah,
Uncut Gems did the same thing, like creating a certain mood using a set music in the background and to create a mood and like coupling that with like. You know, the camera work and like that's something that like I really like that. I really find that really like entertaining now, like having, and it doesn't sound corny because like you're using it in such a way where it's tasteful. You might have the most popular song ever on there, but you're using it in such a way where it almost doesn't even like sound like the regular song. And I think it's been tremendous. I think they are on the right track with what they're doing.
You kind of blew it up because I was trying to come in like flaming the soundtrack, but now leaving this conversation, I'm totally for it because you're totally right. Yeah. Like And I think it's smart of them to do that, because the way Wave soundtrack goes with the movie is completely different than the way Uncut Gem soundtrack goes with the movie. Because it's like, it's a different way of making the music go. It's not like, oh, okay, they're mad, let's play Kanye. Or, you know, it's like a different way of doing it. Which, if there is a mad scene and you play Kanye, it might work too. But, like, this is a totally different vibe and a totally different way to do it. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm crazy.
A24.
Yo.
Where's on point, bro?
For real. Maybe favorite scenes, if you have any, real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I got two. So one is, like, obviously, I think when the KG scene with Adam Sandler at the end is, like, when they're just talking, he's like, this is what I do. Like, yeah, that jump.
That
banger.
Hits. Yo,
like, I mean, that one was a banger. And then, I mean, the last one, I have to pick, like, it's just iconic, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he says, like, the one scene that stood out to me the most was definitely his magnificent. Like, when I tell you how funny that scene is and how, oh my.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because I feel like they infiltrated Adam's comedy in a very smart way too. Like that type of thing. So I think that I'm glad you brought that up. For me, my favorite scenes, I have two as well. Okay, this is completely random, but I just loved it. When he's in that pink shirt, walking in the club on the phone.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was so funny. I think it was like the freaking Trinidad James songs is playing, and it's like him on the phone.
Yeah.
Because it's set in 2010, so they give you like a little bit of 2010 with the Trinidad James.
Yeah.
And he's on the phone, he's yelling. He's like yelling at Lakeith's character. He's like, where are you? I'm coming, I'm inside.
He's so mad. Yeah.
He's so mad, and you got like the club girls with the champagne and the lighters behind him. Like, that whole chaos of that. That chaos of that scene, and then the pink shirt and him on the phone, like all of that was just so like, it made me so happy for some reason. So that scene. Also, I really, really, really enjoyed when he's selling KG the rock at first. Like, he's kind of telling him about the rock.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, he's got his, like, seller voice on. He's like, yeah, da-da-da. And then he's like, don't lean on the glass. Don't lean on the glass. He's like, telling him, like, by the way, don't lean on the glass. And then the glass breaks because he leans on.
Yeah. It's like, oh, my fault, yo.
Right.
Hey, yo.
I love that scene. Because it felt so real.
That's a good one, bro.
It felt so real.
That's just like a nice, like, it's like a little scene that kind of tells you everything you need to know about what was to come, like, about the movie. It's just, I feel like it just encapsulates so much of what makes the movie good.
Yeah, it was really symbolic, and it was also like, it characterized everybody so well, because it was like, Kevin was so into the rock that he broke the glass he didn't even know, and then you got Adam like yelling at him kind of, but being nice and be like, dude, don't break the glass, don't break the glass. Please don't break the glass.
Yeah. And there was just so much going on during the scene as well. Like, everybody's talking. It's just, man.
No, but also, I read that, or I was watching an interview, and the director said that like they didn't tell them when they were gonna break the glass with the special effects. So, like, everyone's reaction was real. And I'm like, that makes it so much better. Like, I just love this.
Yo, so that's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
No, really, we could talk about this movie for years. But thank you so much for talking with me about this. Thank you for coming on the episode. I feel like we had a great combo, David.
Yo, I really mess with it. Like, I'm going to tell my mom, and she's going to be so proud of me. And, like, this is going to be amazing. Like,
I love this. We're gonna have to get like matching Black Opal something to like remember.
Oh yeah, that's all like fair. Then we gonna link up,
dude.
And, like,
yes,
we're both gonna be dressed up like Adam Sandler, rings all out, just dripping for one day. You can be pre Uncut Gems Adam Sandler, and I'll be post the drip. You know?
Yeah, we'll compare. I can't.
We'll compare. Yeah,
it'd be sick. But thank you so much, honestly. Got any plugs you want to plug in? This is your moment.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So, there's this thing called Track 2 Podcast. Pretty good. You guys should listen. It's like a pretty good podcast. Like, that Joan, I don't know, it's hosted by this person named Let. It's pretty cool. Like,
I can't.
She got some pretty, she's like, we went to Europe once together, and like,
dude, I was thinking about that. Like, we literally met in Europe. That's so funny.
That was literally tough, bro. It's literally like top 5 best anime revival scenes ever or something.
We deadass met in Europe at like age 13. We're so
that's
funny.
just really that's just kind of tough. Like,
yo, that's
we'll
sets the mood for real. I can't.
Yeah, but nah, definitely. As Roddy Rich would say, stream Track 2 podcast.
Stream Track 2 podcast. Thank you.
Stream Track 2 podcast.
Yes, but yeah, y'all can find me or the podcast on Instagram at the Track 2. And that's all, y'all. That's all we got for you. You have a nice day. Goodbye.